Arrowverse Quick Takes number 8. Hey everyone, Adam from Passable Media. It was a full week again, and I definitely can't talk about 4 shows in less than 15 seconds each, so I've split the separate episodes into their own shorts. And I've collated them into a full-length video here. Handy, since I didn't manage to finish editing the usual video on Monday this week. Still no Superman and Lois out, Legends isn't back till next month, but here's the quick takes for this week's Batwoman, Black Lightning, The Flash, and Supergirl. Batwoman, Season 2, Episode 10, Time Off for Good Behaviour. I'm a big fan of Luke going out into the field. I suspect in the same way that Mary probably isn't going to become Batgirl, Flamebird, or Hawkfire like Betty Kane in the comics, Luke's destiny probably isn't to become Batwing. But it's been said that the team wants to loop in more Bat family members into the Arrowverse, so I wouldn't rule it out completely. The emotional weighting of Julia discovering that her memories have been tampered with and confronting Enigma was on point, but it has to be said, surely Julia was smart enough to leave some contingency in place for when she got whammied again. No? Alfred would be disappointed. That moment where it looked like Alice forgave Jacob for failing to find her all those years ago was so painful, and so is Jacob's downfall into addiction. The man has lost a lot, and I suspect he's not done falling yet, not by a long shot. It didn't click for me until the kidnapping at the end that Angelique was the one remaining chemist able to create Snakebite, but of course that means there is no way they were going to let her get away so easily. Black Lightning, Season 4, Episode 7, Painkiller. I went in looking forward to this episode, since it's a bit of a shame that Black Lightning is ending and I had hopes for a Painkiller follow-on, and within about 5 minutes I'd decided it was a terrible idea. But, and I say this with all the reservation in the world, by the end of the episode I'd sort of backtracked. People are comparing him to heroes like Green Arrow and Batman because thanks to robbing the ASA he's now loaded. But his team seems pretty tight right from the get-go, and while I'm not completely convinced by the whole split personality thing, it could be handled well under a competent writer. I'd complain that we've skipped a bunch of his coming to terms with Painkiller's existence, but Khalil's missing year will most likely be a big part of the first season if Painkiller gets off the ground. I thought it was more than a little stupid that Anissa didn't straight up tell Khalil about Jennifer's, actress change, though Odell's appearance at the end made me whoop just a little. The Flash Season 7, Episode 7, Growing Pains. So this is mostly going to be a moan, but first your regular reminder that the new Speed Force is obviously obsessed with Barry and also super evil. Moving on, there is so much about the Killer Frost case that doesn't make sense, even for the CW. First off, that crime scene at the beginning should have been a non-starter. Frost didn't get her powers from the particle accelerator, so dark matter being present should have automatically meant she wasn't a suspect. And as far as the CCPD know, Captain Cold is still alive, so if Frost is a suspect, he should be too. Next, how are there records of Frost's alleged crimes? At the very least, Julian promised not to speak to the police, Cecile wouldn't have reported her kidnapping, while I'll concede that Tracy Brand may have reported her kidnapping and obviously Savitar's goon reported his assault. In addition, Caitlin's actually the guilty party for several of these crimes since the Frost personality didn't manifest until sometime after her powers did. And finally, the CCPD does not have jurisdiction in Keystone City, so where on earth does Kramer get off arresting Frost outside the city's limits? Supergirl Season 6, Episode 3, Phantom Menaces. F's in the chat for Lena, everyone, while she got a small win at the end of the episode by refusing to play Lex's game anymore, thus tweaking his narcissistic personality massively. Her other big win this episode was completely invalidated by the madman burning down the children's wing of the hospital she'd just donated his money to. Once again, he's the worst and thus the best villain in the Arrowverse. I feel like the point of Kara inadvertently helping Nixley to regain the willpower needed to overcome the Phantom Zone's crippling effects was a not unsubtle nod to her being the paragon of hope. I'm not up to scratch with my fifth dimensional beings, but I'm going to assume that old Nix is yet another instance of Kara putting her faith in the wrong person and will turn out to be the penultimate baddie of the series, but we'll see. Outside of a few scenes, Supergirl was pretty dry this week, while the others all brought something to the table. I'm really hoping that Supergirl manages to pull it all together, because for a final season it's been a little bit meh so far. That being said, Painkiller was probably the best episode of Black Lightning this season, and that's been pretty dull as well, so who's to say? I've been Adam from Passable Media. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. Thank you for listening to me ramble, and goodbye.